Greetings, sibling soldiers and fellow sorrowers, and welcome to part 3 of the lecture trilogy, starting with the Jinn, and then we moved on to the Archons. And now I'm going to present to you all the information, work, research and study that I've accumulated over the past 6 years regarding demons. So, I'm sure you all know by now, I'm a little bit all over the gaff when it comes to this kind of presentation. And I feel that that's the right way to be, because it's natural and hopefully it'll come across natural. So I do apologise in advance if, things don't connect in order as such, but when we get to the summary and conclusion, hopefully it will. I always try to make sure it does. But when it comes to demons, archons, jinn, there's no order to them. They work through disorder, so it's very hard to bring order to them when you try to speak about them, you see. So, all apologies met. We'll start with this. I have been an avid student in demonology since I started my channel. Now, when I say that, I don't mean I've been practicing it, but I have been self-educating on it. I can only go by my own experiences, and I'm not ashamed of them because they've made me the man that I am. Don't ever be ashamed of your experiences, good, bad, right, wrong, positive, negative. Selfish or selfless, because you have been influenced from day one in this world, as I have. You have to make mistakes so you can learn from them. Demons made mistakes. The main demon, the first demon, made the worst first mistake, but it didn't learn from it. Lucifer, Lucy, Satan, Satana, whether you want to look on the male side of that forceful, impatient, selfish, extract of evil is up to you. I'm going to speak about both, but we'll start with addiction. Okay, we'll start with addiction. So, addiction is influenced by demons. Okay, when you feel that urge for your next hit, whatever it will be, as I've spoken of before when I've made entries upon the subject of addiction, many and most, they forget that there's so many different types of addiction. They always go to drugs, right? Doesn't have to be. Some people are addicted to violence, some people are addicted to sex, some people are addicted to gambling, some people are even addicted to health. Many. But that same little push that you will feel, yeah? Like someone standing behind you, giving you a little nudge on the shoulder. Go on, you've earned it, you deserve it. You've gone fucking ages, mate. Come on. You've gone so long without it. You really tried. And you succeeded. That's it as well. They will never tell you that you failed. But what demons do You're so pathetic, yeah. I have this weird mutual respect for Jinn and Archons. Now, I've said this in the past 2 entries of this trilogy. Oh, what's happened there? Sorry. I keep the screen up, by the way, because I realise if I use this recording program, it makes it a lot easier. That's why it's all zeros. It's not running. But I feel more comfortable giving these lectures auditorily rather than visually. There's no particular reason. I just feel more comfortable with them. I hope that's okay. So they'll always work through your success and never your failure. It'll never be, well, look, you're not strong enough. They feel that way. They absolutely do. That you are not strong enough to withstand or withhold any of their influence. But they won't tell you that. Now, when I say tell you, it's a strange feeling because they hide under the guise and pretend and defend that they are your conscience, right? Your inner self, your super ego. They're not. It's not you, but they pretend to be you, okay? They pretend to be your friend. That little voice, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? I've got one, you've got one. They'll use that against you and give you that little push, that little nudge. Go on. That's a demon. Jinn don't do that. Jinn want to make a pact with you. Yeah, they feed off of your sense of decision making, your artistic, creative, inspired, constructing element that makes us the creatures that we are. Demons don't give a fuck about any of that. They just want to control you. And they can't, but they can make you think that they are part of you. And by doing so, you think you're in control. But what you're doing is you are undergoing and administrating their decisions rather than your own. Now, how do I know this? Well, most of you by now will know, because as I said, I'm not ashamed of it. I was an addict. I was an addict to many different addictions. Drugs were the least of them. But even in that context, many different drugs. I had an addiction to cocaine. I had an addiction to cannabis. I had an addiction to MDMA. Not all at once. Fuck me, I wouldn't be talking to you now, I'm sure of that. But I did. And unequivocally, without exception, I can tell you that I felt the presence of demonic influence throughout my addictions. There's others, but that's not the point. You know what, fuck it, I'll tell you anyway, because then it'll sound like I'm hiding them otherwise, won't it? I had a self-destructive addiction. Now, most people, again, it's a trigger word. Addiction, people think drugs. If you say self-destruction, most people will think, so self-harming, right? Well, that's just one. Mine wasn't self-harming. Mine, well, it was, but it wasn't the typical classical sense, I wouldn't cut myself. But let's see, so I have a condition called alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency by proxy. Yeah, I know, try and say that when you've had a skinful. It's inherited. It runs down the male side of my genetics. It killed my granddad. It killed my dad. Yeah, a bit like that. And I allowed myself to be manipulated by these things into thinking that, what's the point? If I've got this thing, I'm going to die at an earlier age. a younger time in my life, so I might as well just fucking go for it. Drink, smoke, right? It's bullshit. I know this now, I didn't know that then. And if I could meet the baby sorrow magpie, would I knock some sense into him? Verbally, but I would. But that's what it takes. That's why you shouldn't be ashamed of your mistakes. Okay? They happen for a reason. The demons don't want you to think they happen for a reason. They want you to think you don't just make mistakes. If you're making a mistake, that's because you are a mistake. Why do they want you to think that, brothers and sisters? Because they are mistakes. They made the ultimate mistake when they followed that fucking degenerate, psychotic, diabolical, grotesque, false king of this world, or queen. So, if you have had addictions, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you have an addiction, I hope you never know. Try to get rid of it before they try to get rid of you from it and through it. But it's a main pointer, it's a main factor that they will use against you, because they want us to destroy ourselves in two different barrels of that sentence. They want us to destroy ourselves, as in you and I, let's kill each other, turning man against man until man is no more. They also want you to destroy want us to destroy ourselves, as in literally yourself. You kill yourself one way or another, because it shows, to them at least, in their eyes, lacking windows to the soul, but nonetheless it shows them that we are not worthy in the eyes of the Creator. And if we're not worthy, we're the same as them. And if we're the same as them and we got chosen over them, then why can't these fallen angels, these demons, be chosen over us? You see? Spiritual psychology, ladies and gentlemen. Quick break, won't be a moment. So, yes, Jinn don't work the same way demons do, and neither do Archons. Archons, as I said before, are the most covert. You know, they work through the mechanical, the inorganic, the artificial, the digital. Okay? Jinn work through favours, deals, treaties. You know, they're I can never say this word. Symbiotic. Is that right? Symbiotic. Demons are the most on the nose. The most, you know. Let's see. They don't think they are. They take that as an insult. They think they're smooth operators. They're not. They're not. They're too fucking arrogant. They're too greedy. They're too vain to work under any kind of sense of stealth. You know. That's why the other two hate them. Where was I going? Ah, right. So, addiction's just one format, one facet that they will work on you, work through. I don't know what class this category as, but I suppose a window of opportunity. Okay, so if you've I'll throw a few situations out. Say you're walking down the road and someone in front of you, I don't know, their wallet pops out their back pocket. Yeah? Or they get up from a chair on a bus or a train. You see it and it's sitting there. You've got a little window of opportunity there. Now, opportunity, again, like manipulation, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You can manipulate someone to see the truth as much as you can manipulate them to see lies. It's the same with opportunity. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, well, here we go, I got it. Oh, here's my chance to fuck someone over. Maybe it's your chance to redeem any time you have fucked someone over, or even if you haven't. Maybe it's your time and chance to, well, just do a good thing, you know, putting it bluntly. But you've got that little window of opportunity, yeah? Now, it doesn't make you a bad person if you didn't tell them and you took that wallet. But you better bet that weren't you alone that took that wallet. Just an example. I'll give you a more darker one. Hopefully you haven't been in this position, because I wouldn't believe it's in any of you listening. It certainly isn't in myself. I don't know, let's see. Take, say you're at a house party. You know, maybe when you're a bit younger. And there's this girl and you really like her. She had a bit to drink. She passes out on the sofa maybe, or upstairs in one of the bedrooms. You know where I'm going, right? Yeah. You see, I know that you wouldn't go there. Hopefully you know I wouldn't, right? But that little nudge in some people who aren't as protected or as aware or as prepared as we are, that's all it would take. That's all it would take. Go on. She won't even know. Or maybe even less than that. Make it a bit lighter. You start it, she'll finish it. She'll come to, she'll wake up. Sure she likes you as much as you like her, right? Boom. Let's get this going. Let's get it off the ground. That's them. That's them. It's not you. It's not your little woo. It's not your shadow self. It's not your inner conscience. It's not your super ego. They pretend to be you. Do you know what I mean by that? Not you physically, but you psychologically. That voice. They're very good at mimicking that voice. It's not something you hear. It's not you're not going to receive it auditorily, but it's this invigoration. And if you really pay attention, you can feel the difference when it's your conscience and that part of you, like, you know, well, I did all right today. You know, I did my bit. I grafted, whatever it is. You know, oh well, I took care of my child's birthday, or you know, took my bird out on a date. You know, I think, yeah, pretty happy. I sorted her out. But that's you. That stuff, yeah. You can feel the difference. It's hard to explain. It's like, what's the sound of a feeling? So it's very hard to explain this stuff. But like, you feel this certain sense of self when you hear that inner self speak to you, right? But when these cunts speak to you, it's different. It's like you feel this heaviness. I don't know how else to describe it. It almost feels like you're you just feel like it becomes harder to breathe, it becomes harder to walk, it becomes harder to talk. Like there's this spiritual heaviness on you. Yeah. Now some would say that's guilt for even considering taking the route, option, way, choice, decision that they are presenting to you. It's not guilt because you haven't done it yet, but they want you to feel that guilt. Because if you feel that guilt and you still do it, they're laughing their fucking asses off at you. Because you get it. So that feeling, pay attention when you get that little nudge. Pay attention to it. You'll know if it's you or not. It could be anything. It could be anything. We'll take it even lower, even well, I say slighter, lesser. Not necessarily, not to the individual at hand. I don't know. Say you're trying to lose weight. Something as simple as that. You ain't had chocolate for 2 months, and you see, oh, there's a nice bit of cake there. Look at that little cheesecake. Oh, go on then. You will know the difference, but you have to listen. Again, I don't mean auditory. It's hard to explain. It's like you have to listen to your inner self, because they're tricky fuckers and they will use that against you. Okay, so yeah, smaller situations, taller situations, but nonetheless, it's them. It is them, okay? I usually start with the origins. I did with the other two, and maybe I should have with this one, but I just wanted to go straight in. So I'll give... I think maybe the reason I didn't start with the origins of demons is because I know for a fact that most of you know this even more than Archons and Jinn. But nonetheless, for those that may not, let's see. So, as it would go, after the Creator made this earth and put in place the first of us, Adam and Eve, male and female, the Creator then saw to creating the first angel. Now, the first angel would be his first lieutenant. This angel saw everything that the Creator did. Sorry, I've kind of contradicted myself there. The earth wasn't made before Lucifer was made. Let me take that back. Lucifer saw the earth made. He saw us made by the Creator. Okay? Very important to know that, because Lucifer learnt more than any other angel, because he witnessed all of this come to be and be put in place. All this beautiful, extravagant, exuberant nature, and not just nature as in, the trees, the plants, the flowers, the animals, and not just nature as in the elements, the sea, the land, the sky, the air, but also the nature of us. And that's why Lucifer knows how to fool us, trick us, intimidate us, manipulate us. Now, I'm using Lucifer as a shorthand, because those of you that have followed my research will know I don't go to that as simple as that, and you shouldn't either, because there's a lot more to it. I mean, in some ways you could even say that Lucifer was the first. I mean, why does Lucifer have to be... This is what trips people up. Oh, Lucifer was male. What do you mean male? It was an angel. We're thinking and feeling and working through mankind's mind. These things aren't... The Creator isn't male or female, but it works through masculine energy. Full frontal, tactile, completely honest, true, to the point, boom. That's masculine energy, yeah? Feminine energy, and I don't mean any offence to any females listening, this isn't a sexist thing, but it's simply, this is how this works, because it can work well, it can work nicely. The feminine energy of a woman is covert, it's calming, it's soothing, it's graceful, it's beautiful, right? It's not an insult, but evil works through negative feminine energy. It's that whisper, that nudge, as I said, right? Very, very slowly, quietly, sneak up, creep up. There you go. That's negative feminine energy. You with me? Positive. You got positive masculine energy, you got negative masculine energy. You got positive feminine energy, you got negative feminine energy. The Father, the Almighty, the Creator, works through positive masculine energy. As I said, right there, boom. Here you go. This is me, this is you, this is what is, this is how it is. Yeah? Negative masculine energy, that's more Jinn. That's why they all tore each other apart. Negative masculine energy, we'll just go through this quick, is war. It's rah, fucking charge, yeah, go for it, just fucking, pure passion. I'm making it sound like a bad thing. Well, it's the negative side of it, but that's the difference. It's full frontal, but without any concept of, well, maybe I've made a mistake here. There's no question, it's what's that term? What is the term? Strong-headed? That's not it though, is it? It's not arrogant. It's not quite arrogance. It's like you feel like what you're doing is for the better, it's for the good, but because of that you're blindsided. That's negative masculine energy. So a prime example to use would be to say, well, a bliss being the king, the leader, let's get this right. The jinn work through that kind of hierarchy, so they would be kings, queens, princes, princesses, dukes, as I said before. The king of the jinn would be a bliss. Now, a bliss works through negative masculine energy. Okay, so if you consider everything I've just said of what that would entail, you'll see why. Okay, moving on to archons, for example, the ruler, meaning archon, the true chief ruler being the demiurge. The demiurge is in the middle, and I did that deliberately, made that the middle sector, the middle section of this lecture trilogy, okay, because the demiurge doesn't work through either. Okay, if a bliss works through the negative masculine, and Lucifer, lack of a better term, Satan, Satana, Lucifer, right, works through the negative feminine, the demiurge is very different in this sense, because the demiurge works with, it's a lack of either. It's, as I said, this immature, childlike, abortion energy, atmosphere, vibe, mood, mode. So yeah, there you go. Almost it's almost like the, Bliss is the dad, Bliss is the daddy, Lucifer's the mummy, and the demiurge is the spoilt child. Okay, but try to get away from male and female, because it doesn't work like that. And it should be very obvious, I'd imagine, in the sense of, well, these things they're not us. They're not I'm trying to stay away from the word human here, but they're not mankind, right? They're not male or female. It doesn't work like that. Neither is the Father, the Creator. But it works through positive masculine energy, okay? So, hopefully that clears that up a little bit, if it's not already cleared up for you. Origins, sorry, I digressed, as I always bloody do. With the knowledge and wisdom, and it was both, it was knowledge, what Lucifer was taught by the Creator, and the wisdom of what Lucifer taught itself from what it witnessed from the power of the Creator, making us, making the earth, making the animals, making all this beauty. It considered itself to be higher than the other angels, and I suppose in a way you could say it was, because it was the first one that was created. However, that sense of vanity being its first sin grew like a cancer. Lucifer come to a certain narcissistic ideal of itself that it could overthrow and therefore overthrown the Creator itself. But in doing so, it needed backup. It needed an army. So it made one with a third of the angels, using that knowledge and wisdom that they did not have to manipulate them the same way it, to this day, manipulates us into falling with it. Many believe that the Creator cast Lucifer down as a bolt of lightning, right? I personally believe Lucifer simply left. He simply went, fuck you, I'll make my own kingdom. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, right? Creator's all forgiving, all merciful. Doesn't make sense, does it? But that's the way they've sold it to us, you see. Lucifer was the light bearer, the light bringer. Lucifer's job was to test us, to make sure we were worthy of the creation that we had been made into by the Creator. And the irony there is that Lucifer is still technically doing its job, testing us on a daily fucking basis. Uses the demons as a way to do so without having to do so itself. But nonetheless, as I said to you before, sibling soldiers, imagine a giant cosmic mirror and it got shattered. Every little piece, every little shard, every little fragment, they're demons, they're jinn, they're archon. But they're all same shit, different toilet. They're all part of that same mirror. And it is a mirror, it's a reflection of us, of our sins. You are a sinner, you are. So am I, we all are. Now when I say that, don't take that the wrong way. We're sinners as in we are capable of sin. That would make us sinners. Doesn't mean you have to be a sinner. Does that make sense? You're capable of it. But because you know you're capable of it, you can choose to not sin. Right? Well, demons don't have that. Because they shut themselves off. They cut themselves off. That connection to the Creator is gone. Long gone. And they want us to feel the same way. And that's why they use our addictions against us. It's why they use our sins against us. It's why they use our insecurities against us. Almost every suicide that's ever occurred has been influenced by a demon. Not a jinn, not an archon, a demon. Okay? You can probably hear in my cadence of voice, I'm not too fucking fond of them. Because out of the three, they're the most wretched. They're the most... They'll use any chance that they can get in the most deceitful, despicable, snidey, slippery of ways to cause you the most spiritual trauma that they can. They're parasites. They truly are parasites. I suppose, again, if you want to go across the board, you could say that jinn are symbiotic, or another word for that would be, what is that word? Codependent with you, right? They need you as much as you need them in that sense. Whereas archons are co-independent. They want you to know that you are a slave, right? That you are so vastly minuscule. You are a molecule. You're microscopic to them. And therefore, they're the ones in charge. So much so that they won't show themselves. Not the way a jinn will, or a demon will. Yeah. And then you've got, as I said at the beginning, demons. Demons are parasites. They are parasitical in nature. I'll give you another, again, maybe this will show conviction of my righteous anger that you can probably pick up on here. Demons are responsible for psychopathy. How many of you have been fucked over, ruined, destroyed by psychopaths in your life? Yeah. Well, you can thank demons for that. You can thank demons for that. It's not Jim. It's not Archons. Psychopathy is demonic, right? So. Do you know how I know? No. Because every single trait of a psychopath is exactly the same as every single trait of a demon. So there's a little shorthand for you once again. That's not a coincidence, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, that's not to say that every psychopath is a demon, but are they influenced? Absolutely, of course. Demons are glib, superficial, grandiose, arrogant, sadistic, sensation-seeking. Shall I carry on? Yeah, psychopathy, right? But unlike Archons who work within a hive mind, like the mind parasite that we all share is archontic. That's not demonic. Demons are fledgling in that comparison, you know. Not to give Archons credit, but them calling themselves rulers, well, over demons, definitely. Jinn, questionable. Yeah, they are pathetic. They are pathetic. So, possession does occur, but not like in the film. It's not like, you know, spinning heads and all that. You know, masturbating with crucifixes. Possession works in... okay, let's see. So, Jinn will work through... Jinn will work through intoxication. So alcohol, as I said in the Jinn entry. Yeah, alcohol being legal and all the different spirits, Jinn, yeah, is Jinn work. Demons are a little bit different. Demons work through self-doubt, your foibles, as I said, your faults, your flaws. Again, similar, but not quite the same. They're more... I suppose they're more basic, really, in that sense, because they're attracted to lies. The lies you tell, yeah, lets them in. The main offenders of sin, and I don't mean sin biblically, I mean a sin to someone with a brain in their head and a heart in their chest, like you and I, yeah, we know rape is wrong, yeah, murder's wrong if it's not in self-defence, and I do add that because it is important. Sometimes you don't have a choice, right? You're always going to have a choice of rape though, aren't you? You see what I mean? Bullying, now obviously it's not as high up as rape or murder, but Bullies, yeah, they're attracted to that because it's that dominion that comes with it, right? Yeah, any kind of abuse through childhood or even adulthood, but abuse, yeah. Physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse. Mental and psychological are not the same, by the way, they're not synonymous. That's the brain and the mind, mental and psychological, okay? Emotional abuse, yeah. They work through that, they love abuse. They love it. They feel abused, you see. And like most bullies, they've been bullied, and that's why they're bullies, to attain that dominion, right? So that's the difference to Jinn and Archons in that sense. Yeah. Any of you, I would say sorry to get personal, and I am sorry to do so, but at this level, at this point, I mean, I'm willing, I wouldn't say happy to, but I'm certainly willing to share my experiences with all of you because, as I said, I'm not ashamed. They want you ashamed. They will feed off that. You're letting them in if you're ashamed. Don't be ashamed. It's all right. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, okay? You know what I'm saying? Every single one of us has got one, if not many, hopefully not, but at least one particular thing that's occurred in your life where you blame yourself for it. Hopefully you don't now, but at some point you did, right? Maybe it was even your fault to a certain extent, as in it was based on a decision that was influenced by them that you made, not knowing any better. But it's still not your fault. It's not your fault. That's them. Now, flip it the other way. Well, it's an easy get out card, isn't it? Get out of jail free card. Well, it was them. I could do what the fuck I want. It's just them then, isn't it? No. There's a big difference, and you know the difference because you'll feel it. I'm going to share something with you all that I haven't shared with you before. It's not easy to talk about, but it's a prime example of demonic possession / demonic influence / demonic presence. Okay, give me a minute. So about 5 years ago, I was addicted to cocaine. Oh, just to quickly go into all that, like I mentioned before, cocaine, MDMA, cannabis. My addictions they weren't based on the drug. I know that sounds strange. I know now because I'm out of them, been out of them for years. And you might feel this way the same if you've gone through this, even close to it. But it's not always the drug that's addictive. It's the emotions it gives you. It's the connection you feel is real and is there, right? So for me, I went addicted to ecstasy / MDMA, almost same thing, right? I was addicted to the euphoric, lovey-dovey, I will talk to anyone and I will listen to every word you've got to say because I believe you're going to listen to every word I've got to say. And we've got this connection, almost genetically, almost on an Adam and Eve level where we've never met and we've just met, but it doesn't matter. We're strangers and yet I feel like I've known you from somewhere else. Now, you can say that's just drug talk. Yeah, a lot of the time it is. But what is that really? It just amplifies what you're already feeling, right? That has to come from somewhere, and a drug isn't powerful to put that in you. That's what I was addicted to. Cocaine, similar, not the same, but it was for that same reason. It was that euphoric sense of... It wasn't confidence that I was after. It was like letting that love out. I'm a very empathic person and my heart overflows. It always has. It's got me into a lot of fucking trouble because I've been used from it and by others. But that's what I was addicted to. Now, I only bring that up and put that into this sector once again of the conversation, because I feel it's important to do so regarding where I'm going with this experience, this situation. And I suppose the one kind of regret that I have, let's get this right. It was a regret, but now I realise what happened. You have to realise, like I said, it's not your fault, okay? So I was addicted to cocaine. It got to the point where I was so on it that I started to sell it. Right? Very young. I'm 33 now. We're talking, I was about 24 or something. Nonetheless, only to my close friends, little group, of people. But yeah, I was out of a job, and I needed to make money, and I felt that was the quickest way. Kids are thick. People think you're an adult when you're 20 and over, 21 and over. No, you're not. 30s, that's when you realise who you are, in my opinion. So anyway, Joy called me. She told me, well, your ex has got in touch with me, and she's at like a party sort of thing. She's asking for a bag and all this. Now, I just got a new job, and I was like thinking, oh, fuck this shit. We don't need this stuff. I'm done. I don't need it. Boom, I was done. I'm knackered. First day. I'm laying on my bed. I get this call. Yeah, Joy. She's telling me, your ex needs a bag. Blah, 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 blah. There's nothing there, by the way, because I'm sure your mind will go there, between me and this ex. Nothing at all. I wanted to be a mate. I mean, I want to be mates. I want to be friends with everyone, but no emotional old flame attachment or anything like that. Anyway, so I go there. I sell her the bag. A couple of weeks before that, and this you do know, I have said many a time, when I did lose my job, I was out on the field in the sun. It was summer, and this little poodle come up to me, and I was like, oh, and I'm stroking it, and this guy followed, the owner, and he was a little bit camp and all that. Who cares? I accept anyone, as long as they don't try to take advantage of my goodness. Sorry, I'm going on one story to another now, and sorry, I'll try and do this quick. Right, so this bloke come up to me with his dog 2 weeks before this situation. He said, come round to mine. I've said all this before, right? Come round to mine, help me out with some boxes. I've just moved in. You help me out with the boxes, I'll give you a bit of money. I was skint. Joy's birthday was coming up. I needed a bit of dosh. I said, yeah, of course I did. I went round. He made me a drink just before we get on with the work. Vodka and Coke. Drunk the drink, didn't I? Yeah, I was a kid. He was drugged. I woke up, I'm in his bed. He's pulled my trousers down. He's going down on me. Sorry to be vulgar. Let's just say it how it is and not be ashamed, because that's what demons want, right? If everyone did this, we'd be in a better place. Admitted these things, got them off the chest. Not as easy as that, but I do feel if you can, you should. I could hardly move. Everything was in slow motion. I was off my nut on this, whatever the fuck he'd put in the drink. Managed to get him off me anyway, and I left. So I'm traumatised by that, right? I'm doing more coke than ever. Fast forward to where I was going, to the point in question. Joy calls me. I'm shattered from all this shit. I'm traumatised from this fucking guy and all this. I went to the police. They said he's done it before and all this, but there's not enough evidence to convict him. For all I know, he's been doing it ever since. Probably boys younger than me, Yeah, like that. Can't do anything about it because I'm the first suspect. Trust me, I've wanted to. So I go round to my ex's to sell this bag. I tell her, she's like, well, you don't seem like you. What's going on? We're just mates. This happened, that happened. I explained like I just did to you. I explained to her. I'm so sorry to hear that. How can someone do that? How does someone take advantage of you when you're passed out like that? How can they do that? Bum, 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 right? I'm crying, you know, grown man. No, fuck all that. I shouldn't have said that. You're grown man, you're grown man. In fact, it takes a man to cry. Forget that part. Anyway, yeah, so I'll go to leave. It was like 3, 4 in the morning. I go to leave, get back, work in the morning. She says, she completely changes. Here we go. This is the demonic part. Completely changes. And I was with her for 5 years before Joy. So I know her personality, you know. Had a couple of bottles of wine. But it weren't drunkenness. It was like sly, as I said, negative feminine. You'll feel it from women especially, but men too. It's this sleekness, this like a snake. It really is, this slippery shit, like a slug. She's like, no, don't go, you stay, I need you to stay. I'm going through some shit and I just need company right now. Please just sit with me for a bit, just stay. I'm like, I've got to go. She's like, if you go, I'm going to kill myself. Now, who I am now, the sorrow talking to you now, would have picked up on that shit immediately, because demons use that. They will. This is why I say the parasitical. They will go to the lengths of depravity. Of, you know, they'll use the bottom of the barrel, you know, last scrape of the butter kind of thing, you know. If they can get a penny out of you, they'll do it. Just I'll kill myself. Anything they can go to when they work through people, right? So she used that, and I fell for it. So I said, all right, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll sit here and just, yeah, all right. I sat down. As I say, I'm traumatised, I'm on cocaine, I'm drunk, I passed out. When I come to, she's sitting on top of me with her tongue down my throat. I push her off. I say, no, I'm here for you because you asked me to be here. I'm not here for anything else. We're done. You know I'm with Joy. This happened 5 times where she'd be like, yeah, cool, of course, sorry, yeah, you're right, okay. I pass out again. Same thing, 5 times. Bum, right? Next thing I know, when I wake, when I come to consciousness, yeah, she's, you know, on, like, yeah, I'm inside her, that kind of thing. And people don't think that men can be raped by women, do they? Whoa, we're cavemen. Whoa. Fuck off, mate. Fuck off. Anyone by anyone, okay? An arsehole's an arsehole. We all got them. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, does it? Yeah? But all the while, and here's my point, almost black eyes. I said no. It's strange because I'd just gone through it 2 weeks before when it happened again. This, you know, before with a man, this time with a female, with a woman. And yet I said no. I said, this isn't. I don't want to do this. This is not what I want. She's like, no. It's fine. It's okay. Go on. Very manipulative, slippery. That thing I was on about. No, it's okay. Go on. Yeah. Controlling my hand, making me touch her. This stuff, that stuff. Right. Boom. I spent 5 years thinking I was, I don't know, maybe you think I am. Maybe you think I am a cheater. Maybe you think I did cheat. But I spent 5 fucking years working out what happened there. Because it don't help. I should have probably mentioned this before. This was the night before Halloween. All Samhain's Eve, yeah? All Hallows Eve, sorry, Samhain. Yeah. When the veil's finished for these fucking things, I'm sure that had something to do with it too, because I felt it. I felt the presence of these things, okay? Maybe it's what gets to me so much. And I felt it with this guy as well. They change. Any of you that have been taken advantage of, you'll know what I'm talking about. They change. Even the victims of Michael Jackson, Gary Glitter, Jimmy Savile, they all say the same thing. They completely fucking changed. Everything. Their voice would become more, I don't know, guttural and inhuman, you know. Their eyes would change. I felt that, I saw that, I witnessed this. Their body movements, you know. It's a real thing, but as I said, it's not possession in the, you know, fuck me, you know. your mother sucks cocks in hell and all that, and the head spinning. It's not how it works. It's negative feminine in nature, right? Sleek, almost like a cat. Just, or like a spider wrapping you up in a web. So, yeah, I only recently told Tantra, only recently told my missus. I should probably tell you that as well. Most of you know anyway. Joy is a nickname. Sorrow and joy. One for sorrow, two for joy. My name's John. If you don't know, my name's Jonathan. My missus, Joy, her name's Tantra. But I only recently told her. And I was shitting myself, and it wasn't because I thought I'd done something wrong, it was because I knew I'd done something, and that was it. And she needed to know, and it was haunting me because I knew what had really happened, but I didn't think she'd understand because she's an atheist. An atheist won't really go for that, right? Sounds like an excuse, like a cop-out, bringing me back to my major point and main point before. It's not your fault. It makes you think it's you. It pretends to be your conscience. Right? Because, of course, anything it makes you do through that is you. You're going to blame yourself, which only feeds them and allows them to make you fuck up again. Are you with me, guys? Girls, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, sibling soldiers, fellow sorrowers. So I'm sharing this with you because I always have and always will wear my heart on my sleeve and my mind on a plate. Especially when it comes to all of you. I've never lied to you, not once, never, ever, and I never will. I will be full frontal, maybe too much sometimes, but surely you'd prefer that than not at all, none at all. I can't do that, it's not who I am. But that was a major demonic occurrence and situation and experience, an event that took place in my life, and my worst in my regard, my opinion. I was my rule's always been you don't lie, cheat, rape or beat. I've never hit a woman, I never will. Sometimes you fucking want to, but I never would. Right? And men to women too, I'm sure. Lie, we all lie, but you know what I mean. I mean true lies, real lies. Rape, of course not. I'd rather slit my own throat. And cheat, it happens. But for that to happen, I think it has to be planned out. I think it has to be something you've taken into account and gone, yep, and made that decision. I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. I didn't have that choice. And if it's happened to you, believe me when I tell you it weren't your choice, alright? In that context, don't give them that. Don't give them the ammo to shoot you with, the knives to stab you with. These demons, that's what they want. They want you to they're accusers. Lucifer, Satan, Lucy, Satana. It's an accuser. It accuses you. There's a reason it's called that. It can't work on you unless you work on yourself. You have to take that blame. You're the scapegoat. You are the Mendes goat. Yeah? You are the Baphomet Goat Mendes scapegoat. Reason for that word too. Now, I was very fortunate because despite Tantra's atheism, I didn't go into the demonology side of it. I just said it how it is, like I just did to you. And if every man and woman did this, relinquished that weight, because it is a weight, right? And it's heavy lies the crown on the demon that applies that weight, But she understood. She forgave. I didn't tell her for 5 years, and the reason for that is because, one, I didn't want to... Of course, it's always number one, right? You don't want to hurt the people you love. But more so, I didn't want her to hurt herself from it. I didn't want her to think it was personal. It was, if you weren't enough. This is them. This is how they work. Any secrets you've got, secrets and lies, again, not synonymous. Any secrets you've got, they're only secret because the demons, these fucking things, have convinced you that they need to stay secret. They don't. They really don't. And you will feel so much lighter, so much purer, so much freer if you get them off your chest. It took me 5 years to learn that. Hopefully it won't take you as long if you have any yourself. Get them out, get them off you. Because all the time that you've got them in you, you've fucking got demons in you too. That's just it. That's just how it works. I'm sorry. It is. I got to a point where I'd go to the beach, or I'd go to the, for a walk in the woods, or anything pure, natural, anything, and every time anything that was beautiful, right? So I'd look at a baby in a pram with their parents, or a bird, or a dog, or a cat, or or just trees, flowers, the ocean, anything. And I'd look at it, and every time I'd look at it, I'd have almost like this invasive imagery. I'd see maggots, I'd see rot, I'd see decay. That's them. That's what they do, because they're attached. They're parasites. They attach themselves to you through this shit, through lies, through deceit, through secrets. That's their game, all right? You see? Jinn is more trauma. Archons, it's the inorganic. It's like the things you do that aren't natural to yourself, that aren't in your nature as a creature of the Creator, right? They're the differences there. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay? Any kind of child abuse, anything like that, completely different, of course, to what I'm talking about, but it's the same. It's the same. It's the same accuser. It's the same accuser. So, yeah. Never felt more free. You won't feel more free until get rid of them before they get rid of you, okay? Moving on. There's a demon of sex. There is a demon of here we go, right? This is why they like addictions. There is literally, I believe, okay, I should give credit where it's due. There is a particular individual, I believe, going by the name, well, I say going by the name, I believe it is his name, Derek Prince. I think it's Derek Prince. Definitely Prince. But I think it's Derek Prince. Again, as I said before, with Archons in regards to Neil, Armageddon Consciousness, Story of Us, inside Neil's head, them channels, knows a lot more than me. Veteran in arcology, if you will, right? Derek Prince, yeah, demons taught me this. He taught me that there is a demon of sex, there is a demon of gambling, there is a demon of, even a demon of health. Staying fit, There's a demon of anger. There's a demon of madness, sadness. They're assigned to you. You know that? Do you know that? Each of us is assigned an angel and a demon at birth. You have one particular demon who is assigned to study you. Jinn study you if you try and study them. There's a difference. They're more mirrored in that sense. Demons, you can go your whole life not believing in them, or maybe you don't even know of them. You don't care to know of them. But they fucking know of you, and they will not leave you alone. They're there, as is your angel, okay? Which is interesting, of course, because they are fallen angels, demons. They are fallen angels. Tricks in the name. Pride before the fall. You know, I don't like the word pride, I say arrogance. Pride is not a bad thing, you should have pride. You shouldn't have arrogance. But pride comes before the fall. Pride, so vanity, the first sin committed by Lucifer. They're fallen angels. They want you to fall with them. That's all they care about, making you fall the same way they did. I've heard stories, I don't have a lot to back this up, but I've heard certain theories that in heaven, to prove that all the beauty and truth and innocence and purity and strength and freedom that we feel as mankind, staying away from the word humans, Lucifer chose to divulge in different activities towards the third of the angels that it made fall with it. I say it, I'm saying it a lot because I don't want to say him or her. It's important. I'm trying to get that through. These things are not male or female. It doesn't work like that. They can use the energy of a male or a female, but they're not male or female. But he would, see, I just did it then. It would do certain things like, I've heard that it would have sexual relations with the wives. You know, again, see, this is where I'm trying to be careful here. The wives, so what, female angels and male angels. See, it doesn't work like that. But certain things I've heard where, to prove that they were inadequate under the law, in the natural cosmic law of the Creator, Lucifer would torture the other angels in one way or another, some way or another, whether it be, again, psychological, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. It's all abuse, you see. This thing introduced abuse to us, mankind. It's not in our nature to do so, but it is in the nature of a demon to do so. So what does that tell you for the ones that do it? And who does it the most? Those of which share the mammo gene, you know, the absence of conscience, of empathy, affected by the amygdala gland. Psychopaths, sociopaths. Now tell me that shit's not demonic. You know? If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. So what do they look like? I've never seen one, but seen as in with our eyes, our flesh and blood, doesn't really work that way. But through our mind's eye, you can feel them. It's like you can feel their shape rather than see their shape. They look like angels, but they're like melted wax. You know, they're burnt up. All their feathers are torn and ripped, scattered. Angels don't look the way that we've been taught. They're not like humanoids with wings. Angels, again, I'm sure most of you know this, the most alien you can imagine to perceive, but they're so beautiful. They really are. And I've mentioned in the past 2 entries of this trilogy, and I don't mean to go on about it, but there's a reason for it. A certain psilocybin mushroom trip I took, I saw an angel, and I know I did because I I just know. I can go into detail, but there was nothing like it. I've never felt anything like it. Felt anything like it, see? Not seen. You see it, but it's not the same as feeling it. They have... I'm not going to do them much justice in the way of beauty, but they really are, truly are beautiful. Many eyes, many eyes. Very close to the biblical description. You know, they do have wings. Yeah, they do have wings, but they're not humanoid. Not male or female. They're not mankind. They're not us. Yeah, they're not. They. It's almost like a perpetual light that gives and doesn't take. You know, whereas demons are the complete opposite. They are the absence of light. There is light, but it's false light, and you can feel it when they're around. They're a black hole. It's almost like they have a void in the middle of their chest. You know, just sucks everything in. That's Lucifer. That's Satan. It's vampiric. It's a vampiric consciousness as oh fucking hell. What's his name? As Max Spears, the late Max Spears would say. A vampiric consciousness, you know. Constantly needs sustenance, nutrients. It can only get that from our loosh, from us. Reptilians, they're the bloodline of this thing, of demons, Satana. You know, the tares are the children. Cain is the first child of the tares. No, let's get this right. Cain is the first child of the fallen angels. The tares are the children of Cain. Okay? It's demonic. Reptilians are demonic. Yeah? The Shakar. They were the first reptilians in the Garden of Eden. The ancient dragon, right? Yeah. That's what it looks like. Very close. It don't look like a dragon. It's not as simple as that again. But it's... These fallen angels, they stink for one. When they're around, they smell. They're rotting, decaying, pathetic disgraces to nature. The wings are all torn up and dislocated, and their feathers are all burnt and frayed. Their eyes are they have what they call again, give credit where it's due, Dr. William Peck, I believe, or Dr. Peck. Read them books if you haven't. Road Less Travelled, and in particular People of the Lie. He describes psychopaths to have a demonic attentive attachment, which you will see in their eyes when you speak to a psychopath. They have this, what he coins as lazy reptilian torpor. That's what angels have. Angels have many eyes. They see, all encompassing, and I saw that on this trip. I felt that. I could see everything at once, all around the world, past, present, future, myself, others, everyone, all involved, all one. That was angelic, not demonic. That was benevolent, not maleficent. Fallen angels, lazy reptilian torpor on every one of their eyes. Almost like circular rings that just constantly travel round. Angels, fallen angels, they both have it. But yeah, demons aren't, again, what we've been taught. You know, horns and fucking... goat hooves and all that. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works. Yeah, so trying to do my best to give like a physical description, as I've tried to do with archons and jinn in the previous episodes. Moving on. So I'm trying to keep each of these lectures, and I call them lectures, you know, they're kind of all over the gaff. I do apologise for that, but it's just how I work. And they're not as professional as most lectures would be, I know, but I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be honest with you, and I don't plan ahead with this stuff, as I'm sure you can tell, but I think that's the best way. Keep it natural. Keep it natural, you can't be influenced, because these three entities, Jinn, Archon, demons, they're not natural and they hate you because you are, okay? So I suppose Jinn are more natural than Archons and demons, but they're still not as, when I say natural, I mean like as pure. They're not as pure as us, by their very nature. But as I did with the past 2 entries, I will give you 5 films in order that are very much worth watching for your own studies if you would like to learn more about demons and their origins, characteristics, strengths, weaknesses. Oh, maybe I should touch on that really quickly. Strengths and weaknesses. Not much to say, because if you've listened to my previous the Jinn entry, the Jinn lecture, very similar in that regard. They really are. They hate prayer. Again, don't put your hands together. You can do, but you don't have to put your hands together and say amen. And that's not prayer. That's religion. It's a different thing. Okay? You don't have to do that. I don't do that. I don't even speak out right sometimes, but a lot of the time I shut my eyes. I get into that frame of mind and heart and body and soul, and it's an internal thing when I speak. You know what I mean? As long as you mean it, it's gonna be communicated. That's commune, right? So they hate that even more than Jinn. Just keep your vibration high, essentially. I mean, the proof's in the pudding of what I've already said, right? So if you've got an addiction, try to chuck it, because they love that. That will protect you. You're protected if you're not addicted, basically. Addictions, they're doorways for demons. Same with lies, secrets. Try to get rid of any kind of anger's one thing. Again, it's not synonymous. Anger's one thing, hatred's another. I'm angry. I am angry. I have righteous anger in me. You should too. There's nothing wrong with that. Jesus had righteous anger in him. Again, sold to us as this, long blonde hair, white skin, and all this bollocks. Everyone, just forgive everyone. Why not? Just forgive everyone that's ever fucking hurt you, that could hurt you. No, that was not Jesus. That was not Jesus. All Jesus was, he was the first of us who went, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not taking it anymore. I will not allow this evil to hurt the ones I love around me, my brothers and sisters. I will not allow you to do that. That's what Jesus was. Does that sound calm to you? Does that sound new age? Does that sound hippie? No, it doesn't, does it? That was Jesus. Just, you know what I mean? So you don't have to, acceptance is fine. But this all loving sense of, that's almost do what thou wills. You see how they teach this stuff? Okay? Jesus couldn't stand these fucking things and what it was doing to us. Righteous anger is a good thing. Keep it, hold it, use it. But hate? I don't hate anyone. I do not hate any single walking being on this earth, or even out of it. I don't even hate Lucifer, Demiurge, Iblis. They want you to hate them. They want hate. They need it. That's what they are. They don't just hate, they are hate. Especially demons. Get rid of your hatred. If you've got it, get rid of it. If you don't, brilliant. Addiction, hatred, self. The third point would be self, however you want to call it, self-annihilation, self-blame, self-harm, self-destruction. Get rid of it. Again, it's as easy as that. Of course it isn't, but work on it. Just try to work on it. Because it's, again, I don't want to keep saying it, but it's true. It's not your fault. You know what's your fault. You'll know your mistakes. You go, well, fuck me, I shouldn't have done that. If I was who I was then, I wouldn't have. And yeah, that's different. But yeah, it was a mistake. Okay, you've learnt from it. You're not that person now, right? You wouldn't make that mistake again, right? That's a mistake. The other shit that's haunting you, even though you've paid comeuppance, you've give due penance. Demons, let it go. Let it go. Okay? That's how you protect yourself. Hopefully that's answered your strengths and their weaknesses in one, because it is the same. That is synonymous. If you can do that, that gets rid of your weaknesses and gives you strength, and that gets rid of their strength and gives them weaknesses. All right? Okay, hopefully that's covered it. So, films, right. Let's see. Event Horizon, I know, kind of cheesy, sci-fi horror. But there's a lot of truth in that. The way demons affect you, the way that it plays on the characters in the film. You know, it plays on their traumas, in particular, because trauma's more jinn. And they all muddle it all together. Like I said before, like Dark City is technically an Archon film, but there's a lot of jinn stuff going on there. Whereas Hellraiser is technically a jinn film, but there's a lot of Archon stuff going on in there. They mix it all together, so you'll get confused. Event Horizon, yeah, the way it plays on them, you'll know if you've seen it, and if you don't know, watch it and then you'll know. Alright, Event Horizon, number 5. Number 4, I would say The Prophecy. The Prophecy's worth a watch. It's about the fallen angels. Again, I'm not going to just explain each one, because what's the point? I would not bring it to your attention unless it's worth it, okay? Trust me on this, please. I will give you these films because you'll see it. You will see it. Forget, it's not about watching it. If you watch it like a movie, it's going to be shit. If you watch it for what we know, and you see that you look out for the symbolism and the metaphors and what's going on, it's all there. Fallen angels, demons, The Prophecy. Number 4, okay? Number 3, I would say A Dark Song. A Dark Song. Low budget, British film, really fucking good. Well made. You know, I love cinema, so I'm a bit biased here. But it's very close to the mark of these rituals and the effects that will be taken upon you demonically if you enter into these rituals and things. Yeah, number 3. No. Yeah. No, Dark Song was number 3, wasn't it? Number 2. A black... what do they call it? The Black Coat's Daughter, also known as February. 2 different names for the film, but Black Coat's Daughter is how I know it. One of my favourite films of all time. The way that the main character is influenced by demons. This is a bit closer to Satan in the sense, or Lucifer in that sense. You know, rather than demons, she's influenced by Satan, Satana, Lucifer, Lucy. So, but yeah, the way she's influenced, because nothing's ever shown. There's no paranormal stuff being shown. It's just her actions. For all we know, it was all in her fucking head. But was it? And hopefully you can see where I'm going with this, because that is what they fucking do. They make you think that you're mad. It's all in your head, right? You're schizophrenic. Nope. It's them. Yeah. Black Coat's Daughter. Yeah, number 2. Last but not least, again, it's more about Satan, Satana. Lucifer, Lucy, rather than demons, but there is demons in it, and more the point, I'm trying to go for films that are going to teach you about the behavioural aspects of demons. Yeah, it's not about seeing demons in the film. Who cares? That's not the point. It's the spiritual psychology is what I'm trying to teach you here through film. Okay, number one, Devil's Advocate. Again, one of my favourite films. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a bigger one. Devil's Advocate. Absolutely. The way that the main character's set up to win, to lose, and the amount of... Honestly, if I was to do like a top 5, and I might just start doing this as well, I might just start doing like a top 5 this, top 5 MK Ultra films, top 5 films about CERN, top 5 films about the D-Wave, top 5 films about, you know... But if I was to do a top 5 films about where was I going? About well, certainly about the devil, it would probably be number 1. That was where I was going. Top 5 like films fucking jam-packed of symbolism and metaphoric value. Devil's Advocate would be in there. Keep your eyes open with that one. There's so much going on in there that's real, that's happening, that's true, that's what we study and speak of to each other, that no one else sees, right? But we do. Yeah, Devil's Advocate, number 1, definitely. So I'm going to try and conclude and summarise here, since my phone battery is on 11. But I want to try and get this in for you all and make the third and last entry to the trilogy of Jinn, Archon and Demon lectures that I'm trying to give. So before I summarise really quickly, I've only just realised I didn't really give a strength or weakness category to the Archon lecture. The reason I didn't do that is because there isn't really much to give or say or bring to your attention, except just watch out for technology. There's not much more to say, honestly, because they're hive mind, right? So in that sense, they all work through one what do you call it? Wavelength. One strain of thought, right, at a time. So it's easier in that sense. Just watch out for transhumanism, because that's all them. That's all our content. That comes from them, okay? That's all you got to do. They don't really affect you any other way. They can't, because trauma with Jinn is organic. Sin with demons is organic. Archons are not organic in any way, shape, form or fashion. So they will... watch out for technology. Watch out for transhumanism. That's it, really. And I'm sure you already do. That's why I didn't mention that. So I thought I'd put that in there quick. Also, the second thing would be, I mentioned that Paimon... People think Paimon is a demon. He's not. Paimon's a Jinn. So to tie into the 5 film listings I gave on the Jinn lecture, Hereditary. Watch Hereditary. Really fucking good film. Again, jam-packed full of symbolism and metaphoric value. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out there. So yeah, to conclude and summarise, demons are less than nothing. They were something. They were the most, the fullest. Now they are the least and are most empty. And they want you to be the same. They want you to be the same as them. They want to take your place. It's not them that want to take your place, but they want their children to take your place. They want the tares to take your place, to live in your footsteps. The veil is being lifted as we speak, and you're going to see more and more of, with Archons, when the veil's lifted, as I said before, it's the glitches in the Matrix you're going to witness more. With Jinn, as the veil lifts, it's going to be more. You're going to have a lot more luck or unluck, let's say, dependent on what you give or allow them to take. With demons, on the other hand, as the veil lifts, you're going to see more anomalies than you ever have. You are going to see eyes turn completely black. You are going to see scales come upon the flesh of others. You are going to see fingers elongate. You are going to see tongues slip out, licking around their faces. You will see this shit. They don't want you to see this shit. Jinn do, by the way. Jinn want you to... It's a weird one, right? Jinn want you to know of them, even though they're hidden. Yeah, very strange, contradictive irony there. Whereas Archons don't want you to know a thing. That's why they hide under the guise of technology. Demons, they think they're hidden, but they're not. They're the most obvious, and you will notice how obvious it becomes. But you have absolutely nothing to fear as long as you accept who you are. Right, wrong, good, bad, like I said at the beginning. Positive, negative, okay? Accept who you are, because all the time you don't, you're allowing them to not only work for you, but pretend to be you. Don't let them convince you that you're someone you're not. And the only way you can defend against that is to be honest with yourself, let alone the ones around you, as I've tried to be with you tonight. I love you all, and I hope these 3 lectures have helped. I really, truly do. I did my best. I know they're not very professional, but I did my best. I tried to be as forthcoming, straightforward, sincere, and direct as a little magpie can be. So stay strong. We're winning this, alright? Fuck that, we've already won. They just don't know it yet.